Patrick Mahomes is widely regarded as the best quarterback in the NFL and of his generation, despite the fact that this is only his 6th season in the league. But even with his talent, leadership, and poise, without a good and strong group in front of him, things can go awry. Just look at Super Bowl 55.
Big play here, coming after him. Way back, all the way to the 35. Tough. 3rd and 14, he heaves it. It's knocked away and on the deflection. Again, running for his life.
The 2-time Super Bowl MVP was sacked 3 times that night, threw 2 interceptions, and was under duress the entire game in a 22-point Bucs win. Now, after spending resources in free agency and the draft to bolster the group up front, the Chiefs have one of the league's best offensive lines. But they say playing in front of Mahomes is a dream fit.
He makes your job a lot easier. Yeah, he's going to make you look good most of the time. You know, even if you get beat inside, you know, you can always run your feet and, you know, he'll work with you, try to get out of it.
You know, just being able to read the defenses, see where the blitzes are coming from, being able to find his hot routes, things like that. He just does a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, he's the ultimate playmaker. You see him extend plays, all types of crazy passes. Extremely smart in terms of making sure we're all on the same page in the right place when we're doing our job responsibilities. But I would say it makes it easy to operate back there. You know, you always have a chance to win with 15.
He's amazing, man. Great leader. He approaches the game head first every day, and we feed off of that energy every day. And his professionalism and just how much he loves the game of football, guys just feed off of that.
Against a 49ers defense with multiple All-Pro and Pro Bowl players, we'll see just how easy Mahomes can make the job of his offensive lineman. Reporting in Las Vegas, Ethan Frank, Newhouse Sports. Fred Warner was drafted in the 3rd round of the 2018 NFL Draft, and little did John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan know they'd be getting one of the best all-around players in football in the middle of the 3rd round. He's been an All-Pro in each of the last 4 seasons and a motor for one of the best defenses in football, despite the fact that he's had 3 defensive coordinators in that span. But to understand just how good Fred Warner is, ask his teammates.
He got all the intangibles you need in a linebacker to be great, man, and just the way he works and the way he practices. I mean, he's a really great player. That's why he's great.
What have you learned from him?
Just how to be a pro, how to, be about your business, how to play, how to, go every day and be your best and try to get better every day, and that's what he strives for, and that's why he's one of the best.
Fred is a guy that obviously a great leader, works really hard, but just a guy that you can just look to in any situation. I think that's kind of the best thing being on his team is whether things are good, you can look to him, see how he's reacting, how to attack a situation. When things are bad, you can do the same thing. So obviously he's the leader of our team, leader of our defense. We appreciate him.
You would think the way he acts and prepares that he's like a 12-year vet. His attention to detail and his command for a room, maybe can think of maybe 2 other players that have been around that's similar to that. Leadership skills, top tier. I mean, I can go down the list.
4 years after the Chiefs hit blackjack, 21 points against Warner's defense in Super Bowl 54, number 54, and his team have a chance to right their wrongs against the team that took the Lombardi Trophy off their fingertips. Reporting in Las Vegas at Super Bowl 58, Ethan Frank, Newhouse Sports. Oronde Gadsden is returning to Syracuse football for his senior season. To break it all down, Ethan Frank alongside Braden Reed. Braden, when you saw this news, your immediate reaction?
I think the first things first, you have to be excited, right? You're getting arguably your best receiving option. I think certainly, I would say that's inarguable. It's definitely this season and certainly looking forward to next season. Just a big-bodied receiver who makes a ton of plays for your offense, solves a lot of problems for you. So as a Syracuse football fan, you have to be excited for Oronde Gadsden coming back.
Yeah, let's listen to take a look at some numbers here. So Oronde in 2021, his freshman season, basically a redshirt year, didn't play. He caught 2 passes for 24 yards. That was in 2021 when Syracuse went 5-7, lost the last 3 games to miss out on a bowl game. In 2022, a complete breakout, him and Garrett Schrader with a very strong connection, 61 receptions for 969 yards and 6 touchdowns, really became a go-to option, broke out in that Purdue game back in 2022 and helped lead Syracuse to that 7-5 regular season record. Tailed off a little bit towards the end as Garrett Schrader, got hurt and didn't play in a few games, but was really, really good through that first half of the season when Syracuse started 6-0. And then 2023, just a complete lost year. There were, rumors he, tweaked his ankle or something during, late in training camp and at the end of August. He ended up playing against Colgate and playing against Western Michigan. And early in that Western Michigan game goes down with what looked like a pretty, routine, injury, lower leg injury. Didn't look to be too bad, and it ended up being a Lisfranc fracture, which is maybe, besides tearing your Achilles, about as bad as you can get with your lower body. That's a complete, almost, injury timelines are moving and accelerating, getting faster. But this is a long recovery. He only finished with 7 catches for 67 yards and a touchdown this season. I would be shocked if he was ready, if he played in the spring game in April. And then, if he's ready for next season, I think is still a question.
Definitely. And, it's hard to know with these injuries, just because of the nature of college sports. We don't know a ton. But you talked about the Lisfranc, obviously a lot of questions about it. But the thing that I always come back to, at least the case that I always come back to, is you look at Travis Etienne, injured to the Lisfranc in his first year, I think, with the Jaguars, and now he's playing back and he's at full health. So it's spotty with these things, but like you said, modern medicine's getting up there. These recovery times are getting quicker, and it's certainly not out of the question that he comes back next year and is 100%, right? And that's the biggest reason why he's coming back, because, coming into the season, he's ranked inside the top 100 in all of college football players in the entire nation, right? There's hype around, can he challenge to be a first-round pick? Where does he go in the NFL draft? And those are all questions are swirling as we're getting excited for this past season, or the season that just wrapped up, and obviously goes down with the injury and we lose that entire season, like you said. So now he's coming back. He has a chance to help this team, obviously. I think that connection with Kyle McCord is going to be fantastic, but B, continue to rise his draft stock as he looks towards the pros, because like I said, everyone knows he has the talent, and we'll have to see whether or not he recovers fully from this injury. But assuming that he does, because we all hope that he does, there's no doubt that next season he could be the number one option that he was for this team a season ago. And like I said, continue to improve his stock as scouts see what he's able to do off this injury.
And now he'll be, catching passes from probably a better thrower of the football in Kyle McCord, who's
Absolutely
going to be the Orange's starting quarterback in 2024. McCord was just throwing passes to Emeka Egbuka and Marvin Harrison Jr. So having a target like Gatson, who is a big guy, 6'5" or 6'6", can move like a wide receiver and also play in towards the line as a tight end. I don't even know. I don't even know position. I just define him as a pass catcher. That's what the guy does. He goes out and he catches the football. Syracuse 48, Louisville 42 with 14:49 to go at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm Ethan Frank alongside Jordan Leonard as the Orange seek their 4th straight win and 5 out of 6 to creep closer and closer back towards the bubble, having missed the NCAA tournament for the past 2 seasons. But over these last few minutes, Jordan, Louisville made each of its last 3 shots and is slowly getting closer and closer into this game.
The Cardinals are creeping back in. They've outscored the Orange 14-9 in just the second half, and they're really dismantling the Orange defense. Syracuse held Louisville really tight because they were forcing bad shots. At this point in the second half, Louisville's made those adjustments against the zone. They're getting the ball down low in the paint for easy layups. Syracuse has got to make an adjustment, otherwise Louisville's going to keep coming back in this game.
Judah Mintz still on the bench after picking up that technical foul a couple of minutes ago and getting into a heated conversation with Adrian Autry.
The last time Judah Mintz had a tech was back in the Bryant game when him and Doug Etter got into it.
It looks like he will re-enter now for J.J. Starling, who is the latest recipient of Adrian Autry's ire. Taylor inbounds from the near sideline and passes to Mintz, and we're back underway. 14:45 to go. The Orange up 6. Brown, top of the key, almost has it stolen, gets it back into Copeland, fakes a pass to Taylor on the left block, now gets to Mintz outside, drives in the lane, and a blocking foul is called. Ooh, the Syracuse bench might have exploded had a charge been called there, but Mintz drove into the lane, drew some contact, threw a wild shot up at the rim, and he earns 2 free throws as Sky Clark just got in position a little bit too late.
I will say, looking at the replay on the Jumbotron, I understand where the Louisville fans are coming from. Sky Clark got there in position at least a stride before Judah Mintz even made contact.
Very similar to the calls from the first half. This one just happens to go Syracuse's way. Mintz's first free throw. Too strong. And I'm sure the Louisville bench is saying, ball don't lie. I mean, it's so hard to determine what is a block, what is a charge nowadays, especially with the emphasis on not giving the defensive player the benefit of the doubt today in college basketball, as Mintz's second free throw is good. He goes 1 for 2. The Orange are up by 7 with 14 and a half minutes to go. Copeland and Mintz at the top of the zone, Taylor and Bell on the wings. So good length out there for the Orange, and Brown the undersized center. Huntley Hatfield top of the key, swings for James left wing. Gets it back to Johnson on the right wing. He launches a three. No good. Brown with a wild box out of Huntley Hatfield, and Copeland has the Syracuse rebound. Mintz attacking the right basket for the Orange, has it top of the key. Copeland sets a screen on Clark. Fakes a roll towards the basket and gets the ball right wing. Back to Mintz working against Johnson. Posts him up with the ACC logo. Copeland a back cut into the paint. Layup up, no good, but a foul. And Quadir Copeland will head to the line for 2 shots, where he's a 68% free throw shooter on the year. Copeland had 7 assists the last time these two teams played back on February 7th. Only 2 tonight to go, along with a couple of rebounds and 4 points as he steps to the charity stripe.
Quadir's been very aggressive so far today. I mean, just that, cutting towards the basket, getting that easy feed. So you haven't seen it from the passing side, but he's been more aggressive in terms of trying to score the ball in the second matchup.
First free throw up and good for Copeland. Second shot, too strong, and Syracuse once again splits a pair. The Orange now 9 of 17 from the line tonight. 8 missed free throws in what is an 8-point game. Kick ball against the Orange as Mintz and Copeland tried to steal an entry pass into the free throw line from Johnson to James. 53% at the stripe for Syracuse tonight. Not going to cut it, going to make Adrian Autry very unhappy.
As Syracuse.com's Brent Axe always says, hashtag free throws matter.
Tyler Johnson, top of the key, interior pass for James at the foul line. Gets it back, 10 on the shot clock. Lob up for Hatfield. Hits the side of the rim. Huntley Hatfield offensive rebound. He's got it. Up off the glass and in. It's a 6-point game again. 13 and a half to go. Syracuse leads 50-44.
Syracuse hasn't hit a field goal in almost over 3 minutes.
Copeland, right wing, backing down the smaller Johnson. Spins, double team comes, doesn't matter. Quadir Copeland splits the 2 defenders, does the too small motion, and Syracuse is back up 8, 52-44, 13 minutes to go.
What a play from Quadir there, using his size to his advantage.
Copeland and Mintz, top of the zone, gets it to Trey White, left wing 3. It's good. Length at the top of the zone doesn't matter for the Orange as White hits Louisville's second 3 of the day. And it's 52-47, over 7 minutes gone by second half. Mintz with a mismatch against Hatfield, top of the key, gets it over to Copeland, who wants Johnson. Now gets a Bell, top of the key 3, sticks it. Chris Bell slips the screen off the Copeland ball handling and hits his second triple of the evening. Syracuse back up 8, 12 and a half to go.
What a play there by Quadir. He went down the lane, which establishes him as a threat, wide open for Chris Bell up top.
Really good help defense from Mintz, and it's Bell diving on the floor on a loose ball. And Mike James was out of bounds going for it against Chris Bell. It'll be Syracuse ball with 12:21 to go. Judah Mintz getting his hands in the passing lanes, one of the leading steal getters in the ACC, averaging over 2 per game.
He's second in the conference behind his partner Malik Brown.
Syracuse as a team first in the ACC in steals, averaging over 9 a night. Mintz, top of the key, drives right by a defender, up with a layup and in. Curtis Williams, no match for Judah Mintz. He's got 18, and the Orange are up 10 with 12 minutes to go. And Kenny Payne calls a timeout, throws his hands against his sides, and now has hands on his hips as his team walks back into the huddle.
There you see the maturity there from Syracuse. Louisville kept chipping away back into the game. It came to a point where they made it within 5, and Syracuse uses that maturity with a lot of sophomores to then re-extend the lead to 10. That's just great play there from Syracuse.
Judah Mintz leads the Orange with 18 points, and Syracuse is up by 10, 57-47 with 12:03 to go. We'll step aside. You're listening to Syracuse basketball on the original home of the Orange, WAER.